You are blessed.
Swish.
I cast a
Correct.
bless.
I mean, some of you might have the capability to actually do that shortly. So I have a lot to do right now, so please excuse me.
So we better get to drawing.
I'm gonna have to start with... Thanks for the host, robSHEPart. Oh, wait, did you stop your stream then?
I did stop my stream, yeah.
Very well. The first thing that needs to happen, of course, is creating a new Rule 20 instance so that we can have new character sheets for everybody. T D 5E number 2 character sheets, Dungeons and Dragons 5E. Is this the good one? No, that's a shitty one. Look, man, some people have done some really bad D&D 5e sheets. There's some that I like better than others. The community contributed, I think, is a pretty solid one. I mean, you probably don't know this, but there literally are multiple different sheets, right? Like, people have done the same work to make different looking things, and the official Roll21 looks terrible. Sorry, Roll20. I just don't like it. Let me get you guys all invites to the game. Some things to start kicking around in your mind. It's not. It's in Discord. It's not necessarily that you've all been banished here, but some of you might have been. For what reason have you arrived in this desolate land? We're talking middle of nowhere, monster-ridden, no sane person would go there, end of the earth, criminal den, you know, this is the adventurous pre-Wild West. This is people leaving the eastern part of America and exploring outwardly, fighting Indians and Jabberwockies and Yetis and Paul Bunyan. You're creating a legend here at the end of the world. Some of you might be crusading and adventuring. You might be out to make a name for yourself. Others might be running from their past. Some might have been born here and have no way to leave. Think about those as part of your backstory. Now, Connor, I know that you wanted to set this game still in the same D&D world as the first campaign, the official game.
I just asked if that's what you were interested in. I mean,
I certainly could be interested in such a thing, for sure.
Yeah.
Or we can do a whole new one. So let's start there, friends. Do we want it to be based in that world, or will it be a totally new world?
A whole new world.
I'm happy with same world myself. I think it's more fun for you and probably for we get some continuity between the worlds, and then we could potentially hear about our own characters in the other game.
I'm okay with that.
And then these characters can help our other characters off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, these new mega high level, epic level guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You guys wanted to do high level stuff. Okay. I did say that, but then I thought West Marches, which typically starts low level. But I am okay with doing a high level, like 7 or 9 level, you know, really get in there and learn the character mechanics of some higher level stuff. Who are we missing? We're missing Bearded. All of you should have...
I don't see me yet.
It's I haven't hit OK yet, but it's there.
Yeah.
I just hit OK. It's there.
You're in the...
There I am.
It's like the
Okay.
5e stuff.
Yeah, isn't that the correct sheet? Am I wrong?
It is. I didn't know if West Marches was a whole system.
No, so West Marches is a campaign template. It's a way to play.
It's like a set. I got it.
It's like a adventure module. Well, it's like a setting, but it's not exactly a setting. It's like a rule set, but it's not its own rule set. It's an idea.
It's a frame of mind.
Yeah, it's a campaign template, but it's also a frame of mind. I'm just gonna give Bearded a character sheet, and when he shows up, he can use it. So, same world then. Cotton already has an idea for a backstory.
Jesus.
I would like it to be set on another continent that we haven't seen so far. And I know that Connor had some ideas of going up against the Guzian Empire. Is that still something you would like to do? Like maybe you're a rebel who has been forced to flee from the Guzian Empire and exile out to the West Marches.
But then what would, if that was the case, this isn't where the Guzian Empire is it?
That's correct, but maybe you need to gather allies and experience magical items in order to return home. You're simply not powerful enough. I'm just offering options, of course.
I like
In storytelling, you've had your smackdown, and now you're in your, rebuild yourself stage.
Oh, this is listen. This is this is absolutely the typical Forgotten Realms storyline. Every time there's a bad guy that comes from the Underdark, it's always some dude who just got his ass kicked by another bigger bad guy. They get forced up to the surface world, and then they're like, I'm the new crime lord of Waterdeep. And then you plunge into their backstory, and they're like, oh, we killed the new crime lord of Waterdeep, but it turns out that he was forced up from the Undermountain because there's a new, bigger bad guy. And then they're like, oh no, now we got to defeat this new, bigger bad guy down there. Connor is the villain of the Guzian storyline. They have defeated him. He has retreated in exile, but he may return one day with a dread army to defeat them with.
And the Dread Pirates Roberts.
Yes. It's also kind of the, I think it's the Everchosen's storyline in Warhammer before Age of Sigmar.
Interesting.
He's basically super devoted to Ulrich or the other guy. And then just goes down the dark path and eventually becomes the Everchosen.
So you are in a continent that has not been well explored. It's called the Shattered Plate, and you have arrived at a colony port. It's basically like a small city that's been set up over the last 10 years. If you play Monster Hunter World, it's kind of like that first starting area. People have arrived. They've got a bit of a life going, but going outside the town is extremely deadly. There's things that go bump in the night, and they bump back by killing you and eating you.
So this is a very deadly game, even when we're at level 7, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the story that you already came up with for me, so I'm happy to do that.
Shattered Plate. It should be noted the Shattered Plate is far to the east of the main continents that we know of, right? It's the far distant lands. It's the America, right? It's just been discovered. There are savage locals and horrifying monsters. The tales that come back are terrible, but people flee there because no one looks for you there.
Right.
And some, perhaps, have a taste for adventure, gold, or fame. And certainly, all three are in heavy load. Now, there are resources here at the Shattered Plate. It is the location of what appears to be a fallen ancient empire from which magical items are retrieved and mined. The most successful magic parties head out, delve into ruins, and then bring back what they can with whoever they have alive still. So, we're not getting to your characters yet, I know, but I'm sure some of you are kicking around ideas. Let me start by asking, where does everyone meet in this town? Is it a church? Is it a mercenary hiring hall? Is it a adventuring guild? Is it a simple tavern with a map of the known world carved into one of its tables so that people can, get a drink and then look down and say, this is where we're going next? What one of those appeals to you?
Indoor bakery, warehouse / pub, microbrewery.
That's very intense. Is everyone else in that?
An indoor bakery / pub?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, a tavern.
I mean, a bakery pub is very different from a tavern. I assume that in such a place, there's always the smell of fresh bread.
Basically, Krispy Kreme, but with bread.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a lot of drinking and sweets going on. Oh, and there's probably like a really salty bread that they offer for free, like pretzels or something, so that
Make
you
you
want to
thirsty.
drink more. Yeah, I like this idea. Yeah, they want to take your money so bad. That's the other thing I should. Well, there's plenty of things about West Marches I'll have to introduce you to along the way, but resource management's going to be very important. Money, food. You have to pay for your tavern stay when you're in town. You have to buy your rations or literally buy and cook food along the way. Let me tell you something. Rations are expensive, but a bag of wheat and, maybe it's a barrel of chicken, take it with you, is going to be a lot less cost, but a lot more weight. West Marches is dark and gritty and micromanagement. Cotton, I like your backstory. You want to be a cleric. Your temple was destroyed, and you hear that the one who did it has fled here to the shattered plate. Excellent. So you're a Tempest cleric, correct?
I was thinking about Tempest, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have a set of gods. I don't know if you know them, but I'll go get them for you. So Tempest would specifically be the god Wellwind.
I was thinking Tempest, but I was going to ask you what gods you had to make sure that's.
Yep, I'm getting it. I'm getting it for you.
I also thought about being light if I don't like the Tempest god.
Wellwind, the Tempest god. Wellwind is the center of storms, the god of leadership, strength, justice, and fear. She is considered like one of the primary gods, although she's not like the overfather god. That is the god of knowledge. She's in a very intense on-again, off-again relationship with the god of light, Heros Firebringer. You also wanted to know about the god of life? Light. Oh, well, that's her boyfriend, Heros Firebringer. He's the god of renewal, guidance, truth, vigilance, and beauty. He has a cult of sacred prostitutes who go out and perform the pleasures of, they're essentially courtesans, right? They'll sit down and play chess with you. They'll talk about very intense conversations, but there's also a very sexual side to it that goes with him, because he cheats on Wellwind all the time with mortals. He's a very Zeusian character. There's a lot of half-god spawn all over the world who are like, yeah, my dad was Heros.
I did like the Tempest justice and all that stuff.
Okay, all right, well, cool. You're an adherent of Wellwind now, and your local temple of Wellwind was destroyed by... do you have any idea what it might have been destroyed by? Do you not know what it was destroyed by?
She did not know, because she was not there, and that's why she's still alive.
So you came back to the shattered ruins of your temple, and now you're chasing after whoever did it.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Is there a name for this bakery microbrewery that serves free pretzels?
Not yet. I'll think of one and I'll let you know.
Okay.
The twisted bread.
Twisted knot.
The twisted nut.
Oh, okay.
Like both of these.
The twisted knot. Let's talk. I think we can start talking about characters. What classes you want to play, what you can tell me about them, how they got here, what their kind of mission is, right? Connor, you're into this, tried to oppose the Guzanguzian Empire, was defeated. Now you're attempting to find whatever you need in order to come back, whether that's magic items or powerful allies or some dark secret that can bring them down. Perhaps you could make a pact with some dark elder god or something to smite them. Who knows what lies out in the lands of the Shattered Plate?
Yeah, he seeks power, so I would say. And Guzangus is the god of war.
Oh yes. She is a great and powerful god of war.
Hey, AP, do you you may have done this way back in the beginning, but do you have info on the pantheon, the gods of this world?
I do.
I think I have a link to it as well. Yeah, here you go.
You're sending it on Discord?
Yeah, I'll send it.
Discord. Yeah,
Excellent.
Discord, please.
As long as this is the right one.
Yes, that will describe the gods. So ignore everything about the place locations. They all take place on a different show, but all of the gods are correct to this particular one.
This Kurik's Guide to Interplanar Travel.
Yeah, so page
Okay.
3 is about where the gods start at the bottom part.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you. So I'm
Connor,
definitely being. Oh, go ahead, Connor.
no, go ahead. I'm curious what you're going to play.
I'm definitely being a paladin.
Do you know what oath you would like to be?
No, that's what I'm trying to look up right now.
Interesting. Playing paladin. So you know what? Let me go on D&D Beyond and get a little rule set up for you. There should be enough spaces on the table's top campaign for you guys to. No, there might not be. Might have too many characters, so I'll create a second one specifically for this game. All right, I'm sending in a Discord now. This is a completely empty one that will be used for this particular game. I own almost all the books, so you'll be able to get any of the oaths that you want. There are quite a few of them. Conquest, Devotion, Redemption, Ancients, Crown, and Vengeance. Or if you want to be evil, you could be an Oathbreaker, which is pretty sick. They empower evil around them and cause undead to... They're like little undead magnets, right? Like undead show up and are like, "What's up, bro? I'm just like standing around you because you make me more powerful."
Yeah. Oh, I don't know yet. Now you can move on to someone else while I read up on these oaths.
Sure.
But the oaths come. Oh, yeah, that's right. We are high level, so I have to pick an oath. All right.
Yep.
That's of course.
Level 7. So me.
And I guess I'll pick a fighting style too. Okay.
I mean, there will be a
So
whole lot for you to do when you create a whole new character at a quite high level.
Yeah. 7th level, you say? Okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
one thing I would like us to do is that when we create characters, just set your set your HP to max at every level. You're not going to roll for it. I'm going to give you maximum HP because that gives me some leeway to throw you up against some really, really tough stuff.
Yeah.
Connor, what were you thinking about for a character, mechanically, or maybe some more backstory wise?
I mean, I'm jumping between. I mean, like I've had thoughts of cleric, I've had thoughts of wizard now, and I've had thoughts of bard. So I'm really jumping around.
Wizard's pretty fun. I played that one before.
What do you got, Bearded? What are you thinking about?
Tiefling light cleric. Light cleric.
You going for cleric too?
Yeah. So again, your god is in a relationship with Cotton's god,
Okay.
and your god is constantly cheating on her. Allow me to ask you a few questions as a adherent. How loyal are you to the ways of Harrow's Firebringer? Right, like he is a god of truth and beauty, and also of, I wouldn't say sleeping around, but you know, he's more sexually liberated than most people, right?
Right.
Do you make yourself available? Are you a sacred prostitute?
No.
Okay. That's probably one of the more important questions. What else can I ask? I mean, how much do you believe in him? Did he choose you? Did you choose him? Is this all an accident?
I chose him. I was thinking that my deceased husband was researching ancient artifacts, high-level ancient artifacts, and that's what's gotten him killed. So she's trying to find out who did that, as well as finding powerful artifacts to keep it out of the hands of, the wrong people. And then she chose that god specifically for the purpose of doing this.
So you're about unveiling the truth then?
Yeah, exactly. Shedding light on the situation.
That sounds like a League of Legends style if someone was to use an ability, shedding light on the situation, you know, that'd be their cue press. Unveiling the truth, huh? Husband. Okay. I mean, what kind of tiefling are we talking about here? Are there horns? Are there tail? Are you purple? Are you pink? How old are you? How tall are you? Tell me more.
Purple. I really like playing tall people, so like 6'2", 6'3". Definitely has a tail, and then probably like little reptilian type scales on her forearms, and on her neck, and then the tiefling horns, of course.
So you look quite unusual then.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
You want like all the races on that link?
Yeah, you can use anything you want. You can be a monster race, you know.
That's making my decision super hard. I thought I had an idea, but now
So this is a place in the middle of nowhere, right? Like even this scale-armed tiefling would not be looked askance at here, because this is a place where who knows if the walls are going to fall tomorrow. You know, some great beast from beyond the city could just show up and wipe everybody out. Only by the blood of these insane adventurers or exiled villains can the city stay safe. And I wouldn't even call it a city. I would call it a small town, a very militant small town. So if you want to be a bugbear or a goblin or something, you know, this is probably the only place in the world where you could be on the surface and not be hunted down by your fellows. Connor, do I not have anything from you? That's right.
Yeah.
You're flipping between 4 different. Interesting. So I traditionally like to run Westmarch's games in kind of a tough survival management, maybe a little bit of a horror genre, but I want to bounce it to you guys and see what you think.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done inventory management, so it should be fun. I'm down.
But what about genre? Inventory management isn't a genre; it's a way of life, as Connor would say.
I mean, in that case, we'll need like survival techniques and those kinds of characters, right? Like characters that are able to weather.
So, I mean, what is it? The background that's called like Hermit or whatever that allows you to automatically map wherever you go is almost always extremely powerful. No, Hermit is Discovery, but there's one that allows you to automatic Outlander. You've been to strange places, considered distant lands, blah, 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 blah. You have an excellent memory for maps and geography and can recall the general layout of terrain. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people. So having someone with the Outlander background, just like some sort of wandering hermit type person far from civilization, can pull in incredible, you know, good stuff, right? Like not having to worry about food and water and always knowing generally where you are is a huge part of this game. If no one takes Outlander, then those things will be more closely managed. They can play any official race that are in the books. I'm not creating a whole new race for people. Not gonna happen.
Come on.
Nope. This can you guys take?
Ooh, wow, that's really cool.
A lot. Centaurs, changelings, furbolgs, ganassies, goliaths.
Can be an elephant guy.
What are those called?
Loxodons.
Jesus. Oh, those are probably from the
Yeah.
I
It says
those are
Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica.
yeah, that's from the Magic the Gathering supplement. Maybe not that one. Sorry to break anybody's elephant. Well, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. If you want to be an elephant man, be an elephant man.
Is a Minotaur open?
Is it on the list?
Minotaur?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. That's sounded pretty cool.
So what's interesting is that Minotaurs from Ravinica are good instead of being horribly evil.
All right. That sounds so good. I think I'll go for it. So
Weren't you
there's a
almost
minute-
killed by a minotaur at some point? Or was that
Not at
Connor?
all. Not at all.
Probably killed by a lot of things.
I can't remember if
Yeah.
that was Connor or whether that was
We totally
Rick
wrecked that Minotaur. It was done.
I
We took 0 damage.
that
it
is
gored someone.
not my recollection. Yeah, I definitely remember it.
Oh yeah, it gored Mortrick, but everything gores Mortrick.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what it was?
Mortrick boarded it in the first place.
What do you got for me, Connor? You
Do I gotta say? I mean,
Yeah, apparently
you
we
do
all knew-
have to say. Indeed, you do.
what? I'm sort of coming up blank as far as the I don't think I'm gonna go for that bar. I'm looking at trying to find all the cleric schools on my 5e tools, but they changed everything. You used to be able to see the breakdown. Oh, I see it now. Never mind.
I don't think Illithid is one, and even if it was, I wouldn't want you to play it.
I am contemplating an ASMR to be super edgy.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of edgy.
But what about a fallen ASMR?
I mean, that is actually pretty edgy.
Yeah.
It's borderline Warhammer at that point.
I mean, a lot of people play Fallen Azimar. So
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not an unusual cut pick, I'm sure.
So were you turned to evil then? I mean, that's what a Fallen Azimar is. You're touched by dark powers, or you turn to evil as a child. Your inner light has been replaced by shadow. Kaisuke Shadow Flare. Kobayashi Shadow End.
Skyflare.
Tonkatsu's shadow skin.
Tonkatsu. His name is Pork Soup.
Yes. This is my canon, okay? I'm drawing him how I want.
Well, you're the only one who hasn't started a character yet, Bearded. Damn it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I have to do that thing.
Well, I've drawn my entire character pretty much, so.
Oh, well, I can't see it. Connor's locked on all of these fluffy-haired people. Oh, wow.
Looks great.
What are we looking at? Is this like a spade? Is it a spear?
It's more like a scepter type of thing. It's pretty, maybe a mace.
I
Yeah.
like these horns. They're super twisted. I
Yeah,
like they would
doors are
take
going to
lot
be a
of
problem.
management.
Yeah, she has to walk in sideways when she gets into a building.
His tail looks like you could hit someone in the face with it and maybe draw a little blood with a sharp edge on it. Like the gauntlet in the hands, too. Okay. So how did you all... So it won't just be you guys, right? Like sometimes one of your characters might not be there and you'll go adventuring without that person. But how did you all come to form what I will loosely call an adventuring party, but is going to be more like 4 people who've agreed to work together to their own ends?
You say we were level 7?
Yep.
Okay.
Max HP.
You said we were looking for like really ancient and powerful artifacts. Right?
Well, some of you are, some of you aren't. I mean, why are you here, right? You're here to unveil the truth and find powerful artifacts. That's you. Connor's character is here in order to find whatever powerful things that he can in order to return back home victorious. Cotton is here looking for answers and justice.
Justice.
Oh my god, Cotton is literally could be All Might in this game.
All Might? What's that?
From My Hero Academia.
Hmm.
He's Superman, but like a way cooler and better version of Superman. He's the #1 top hero in the entire world. He always smiles and laughs. And he's never been beaten ever. Except that time he got beaten. Connor, you look deep in thought.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the different cleric domains.
We're gonna have a 3 cleric, 1 paladin party. We're gonna be holy rollers up in here.
I called it with the Deus Vult.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Is
Yeah.
there a domain that sticks out for you? Maybe you want to delve into the evil a little bit. Or you want a little
There is
taste of
grave,
it?
right?
Yeah, I don't have a god of grave clerics because I don't allow it in my other game. But
Okay. I don't have to do
certainly I can create a new god just for you, Connor.
No, I'm not sure if I want to do that.
Grave is an incredibly powerful choice, right? I mean, it lets you bring people back literally from the dead.
Seems like something we're gonna need.
Grave, so Grave allows you to have Eyes of the Grave, which lets you see undead, and it also allows you to cast Spare the Dying. I mean,
Oh, that's
Grave
good.
was popular before Critical Role. Grave was popular when it was in Unearthed Arcana, specifically because of the Spare the Dying and Circle of Mortality. With Circle of Mortality, when you roll dice to bring someone back from 0, you simply use maximum number. So if you are like, oh no, Bearded is dying, I will cast Heal on him.
Why is it
Instead
always
of
me?
instead of rolling for dice, you would just say, I heal him for whatever the maximum possible number could be. If it's 32, if it's 48, you heal him for 32 hit points. You don't roll 48. You just say, I heal him for 32. That's why Grave is incredibly powerful. Sentinel at Death's Door at level 6 allows you to negate a critical hit effect on anyone in the area, including yourself. I mean, Grave.
I'm not feeling grave.
What are you
Do it.
feeling then? Maybe some trickery. Maybe some nature. Are you a war domain cleric? Are you literally a cleric who has stolen power from Guzan Guz?
That sounds cool.
Okay. Are you like, no Guzan Guzian Empire? I am the true follower of Guzan Guz. You're like a separatist. You nailed 100 demands on the church door, being like, you know what? Fuck the church. I talked to Guzan Guz, and this is what she said. She said that you guys don't have the faith anymore. What you're doing is wrong, and everybody ran you out of town. They're like, no, you're wrong. We're the Guzan Guzian Empire. Well, technically, it's called the Fade and Guzian Empire, I believe.
How are you so able to write like stories that I definitely want to just do?
Well, I literally stole that from Protestantism.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's,
I know.
where Martin Luther nailed a list of demands on the church door when the church was like, you know what? If you want to go to heaven, pay us $100 and we will absolve your sins. And the church, I mean, Martin Luther was like, you know what? Jesus literally said, do not pay the church to get your sins resolved. Don't do that. Fuck the church. I'm forming Protestantism. We're going to England.
Maybe I'll be the Jan Hus.
Are we doing standard array or point buy?
Standard array.
Where's the additional oaths for paladins? Which book?
I sent it to you on Discord, right?
The additional oaths?
Yeah, so if you open up the Discord link, it'll show
There it
you
is.
all of the links for Paladins. Conquest,
Okay.
Devotion, Redemption, Ancient's Crown, Vengeance, and Oathbreaker. Just note that Oathbreaker is evil, right? You literally have to have broken your oath. I disagree that people didn't play clerics. People play clerics in every edition. Clerics have always been very powerful. Originally, clerics were tanks. They were not this heal bot that video games have made them out to be. They were the people who went in first and then would touch themselves and heal themselves while eating all the damage up. And over the years, that's like in 3.5, that became a very popular keep them back and turn them into heal bots. In 5th edition, people still try to do that, and then Cotton shows up with the Tempest Cleric and is like, I set everyone on fire with electricity that I spray. I'm literally like that one girl from X-Men that was played by Halle Berry. Boom! Everybody's dying to my electricity.
Storm.
Call lightning was my favorite spell when you doing your play-by-post. I got to use it like in one quest, and I killed everything.
Call lightning is super weird because it's a low damage spell, right?
But it keeps going.
But it goes on for like minutes and minutes and minutes, where everybody else is like, all right, we're 30 seconds in the combat. I've used all of my abilities. Just hold on. I need to catch my breath. And then the call lightning person is just like, yep, okay, I just deal 3d6 damage again.
It doesn't the damage like double if there's a storm going on when you use
Yeah.
it?
It might.
It does.
I do not recall. Indigo Chameleon, thank you for this host. Thank you so
I had
much.
it for my main campaign bard because he played basically a middle bard, so he had Call Lightning as one of his spells. He used it in concerts a lot.
Indigo Chameleon, of course, another D&D broadcaster you can go check out.
You know, if we go back to the other campaign, one day Lilywin will have call lightning.
Oh,
I mean, we will. That's the hope, is that one day we will go back there. Call lightning, very, very fun. I mean, the combination of control weather and call lightning is super powerful. That's why high level druids do that stuff.
Yep.
And they're just like, all right, the whole area is a thunderstorm now, and now I call down more lightning. Did one of you draw that image? Yes, all of us, except for me. I don't draw. But all of these people draw all of these images. Everything that's rotating in the upper right-hand corner of your screen was collectively drawn by all of these artists. This is what the show is. We draw art while playing D&D. Now we're planning for our next short arc campaign for the next 9 weeks or so,
Is
technically.
anybody planning on taking the Outlander background?
It wouldn't fit my character.
I could potentially take it, but I wasn't looking at it. If you want to grab it.
I was just gonna grab it if nobody else grabbed it,
Okay, go for it.
because this place sounds like you could get super lost in it.
Yeah,
Yes, and also it's good to have food and water.
that too.
I mean, I'm just like thinking about this here. What's the blade singer class for the wizard like? Blade singing
I
class.
don't know. That's from one of the books I haven't read yet.
Okay. All right.
If I recall, I remember someone played a blade singer in somebody else's play-by-post, and it was very frustrating to deal with them. They were huge jerks.
Like in character wise, or because of the class?
Both.
Okay. Well, I am a huge jerk sometimes.
So
Self burn, nice.
if you want to play a blade singer, I would alternatively ask you if perhaps you'd like to play a hexblade warlock.
Ooh,
That's where you get an intelligent magical weapon that whispers to you in the dark, and you add your charisma bonus to your weapon attacks. Everything becomes charisma based about you. Your patron is the weapon. You and the weapon have formed a soul pact together.
That sounds badass. Yeah.
It's pretty badass. Not gonna lie.
Yes, hexblade is very popular. I have to tell you, hexblade paladin or paladin hexblades is one of the biggest and most powerful combinations, because both of them are highly charisma based and give bonuses to everybody else based on your charisma.
And being a hexblade or being a warlock, does that inherently put you at odds with clerics? Like, I don't want to be
No. So the thing that you have bargained with is the sword that you carry or the weapon that you carry. It's not necessarily. Hexblade, you have made a pact with a mysterious entity from the Shadowfell, a force that manifests as a sentient magic weapon carved from the stuff of shadows. The shadowy force behind these weapons can offer power to warlocks who form pacts. Many hexblades create weapons that emulate those formed in the Shadowfell. So you get paladin spells and other cool shit like shield, which is very good. You can put curses on people. You use your charisma on your weapon. When you attack, you use your charisma modifier for attack and damage rolls. So you could be a very weak person, but as long as you have strong soul influence, you still hit very hard. You also get all of the really cool warlock abilities. It will be quite different from a Bladesinger wizard.
Yeah, I was just looking at. I was thinking something with a lot of physicality, but also
A Gish. You want a mage knight. Bladesinger, warlock, paladin will all fit those.
Eldritch Knight.
Druid. Oh, Eldritch Knight as well. Yes.
Yeah. I looked at Eldritch.
You could go Rich X and be a arcane trickster rogue.
Arcane trickster, yeah. There's so many. I mean, now in these versions they've made so many.
You could be a war cleric. I mean,
yeah, the war cleric was also when I was.
That's what that is what they do. I mean, war clerics have this thing where they get an extra attack every turn if they use their divine channel. When you make an attack action, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. As long as you get to use it a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. So, early on, you can burst out a number of extra attacks until you get tired. War cleric. Connor, you're so lost in all of the gishes. You want to gish so badly.
What's gish?
Gish is a term for magic knight. It's someone who isn't a very good magic caster and isn't a very good sword fighter, but wants to be both.
Yep, I want everything. Most of the time.
The ultimate gish is the Magus from Pathfinder. It was incredibly, unbelievably powerful. There was one time I was playing Skulls and Shackles, and one of the guys, Dan, the legendary Dan, was like, yeah, we're fighting a Magus, but I'm going to charge in there and get into melee range. There's no way he could kill me in one round. So in Pathfinder, when you criticaled using... when a Magus criticaled using a weapon, the spell that they were storing in that weapon would also get a critical. So you could cast a spell, hold it in your hand, stab somebody with a sword, and then cast the sword through your body, through the weapon, into them. And I criticaled on a scimitar hit and cast Shocking Touch or something, and hit him for like 66 points of damage, and he died instantly. He was just like, yeah, there's no way you can deal enough damage to kill me. Exploded. His corpse exploded as a process.
Got him.
That always happened to Dan. That was this very Dan thing to have happen. Dan would work out exactly how far he thought the enemy could go, and then the enemy would kill him instantly in one hit on a lucky shot. He was a good man. Good man. How are we working on these characters here? What do you guys got?
War cleric because you can't explode shit, You
can. There are cleric spells that will enhance your killing ability. The thing to recognize about war cleric is that it's more about upping all of your allies' abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You would want to consider taking feats like Sentinel, which allows you to interrupt hits against your allies or something like that.
So be defensive.
They cast area buffs and heals for everybody, and also they cast, like Bless and Bane. Bane hurts enemies in a particularly unusual way. I think it gives them a -1d4 to everything. Some crap like that.
I don't see that on the list for war cleric, but
so here's the thing: clerics have the whole cleric spell list. Domain spells are spells from other classes' spell list that you get specifically for being that domain.
Gotcha.
So these spells are, so just to be clear, when you prepare spells in the morning, you do a 1 hour of prayer while everybody else is eating or, doing whatever they want. And you say, here's a list of the spells that I want today. Your domain spells are in addition to that. So you have a pool of spells. You'll have, 4 first level, 2 second level, 1 third level. And you'll say, I've prepared X, Y, and Z. The spells on your domain list are prepared in addition. They are always available. If you are a 5th level cleric that has access to 3rd level magic, you will always have magic weapon ready to go. Because it's on your domain list. You can just say, rather than cast another spell, I cast magic weapon on my weapon. And make it a super badass weapon.
Did you say standard array for ability scores?
Standard array.
Standard array, okay.
How do I press that? Is there something you could just press to get them, or do you have to roll them?
You don't roll them.
You pick
There'll be a
them.
drop down box that you pick for each one of your stats.
Drop down box.
I'm gonna have to roll up a map for this. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing tomorrow night because my show is canceled then.
Oh, what happened?
Dave's on vacation.
Ah, okay.
Oh, the spear has become a shining mace, and now we have a bowl for some reason.
Oh yeah, I was doing Tonkatsu Sky Flare.
It's gonna be a bowl with little eyes and a smiley face on it.
Yep.
Steaming piles of pork with those little Naruto ramen. I love it. Everything about this is amazing. What audio could we use? I mean, surely we could put on some cool music right now. While I go figure out what might be interesting to add to the game. Anyone have any questions about the world, or any ideas of where their characters came from, where they're going, who their family is, you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking that my character is an exiled, or like tried to rebel against the Empire because he's a prince of some kind.
Interesting.
And,
So you're a noble.
Yeah, and yeah, basically, if I mean, I'm just kind of drawing from what I imagine what your world is like in terms of the Empire, but
Sure.
you know, if the claim is to strength, you know, that the Guzenguz is an empire of strength. He claimed us. He tried to act in an act of strength and rebel against it and form his own faction, and sort of didn't work out. And now he's in exile, trying to rebuild up an arsenal and a war engine, war chest, I suppose.
Interesting. So you are a prince of one of the kingdoms that belongs to the Empire, then?
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's how empires work.
Yeah.
Empires are not mysterious organizations that are run by Darth Vader. Empires are literally just a organization of multiple countries that have come together.
Oh, I've played Crusader Kings. I know.
I haven't, but sure. What country are you from?
I don't know the countries.
I'm asking you to make it up. I don't know the countries either. I don't know what countries are in the Empire. You've only seen one country, and you've heard of a second, the tower that your wizard friend is from. Mm-hmm. The Wizard Lord is its own country. What do you think? What kind of country are you from? You like Akira, so you'll probably make it super Asian.
Well, in this world, it's slightly different, right? So, I don't know. Let me think about that.
Sure. Good. I've done my job here. Wow, there's some very serious detailing on this bowl. I do love you did include the little ramen. I really want ramen right now.
I know, right?
Which is bad, because I'm on a low sodium thing right now. I would literally die eating ramen. What about you, audience? Do you have any questions you want to ask these people about their characters, about the world, about the Twisted Knot, their bakery microbrewery adventure hall? Red, green, blue clerics and the Golden Paladin? That would be very Power Rangers.
Go Power Clerics.
I mean, you can seriously make a 4 cleric team that all have different, like a trickery cleric could substitute for a traditional rogue type. And, you know, with backgrounds, you get a lot more skills. With the way that you've drawn this, I imagine Tonkatsu Shadow Flare in his human form has like a scar over his eye.
Well, I remember Connor drew him with like some sort of like face paint over his left eye, so I'll just like put that in there.
This is the Stars Without Numbers mascot character to go with Mallow, the Cabot.
And
Who knows what's going to happen to Mallow now? I mean, Mallow is locked on a ship with a non-functioning computer. Someone might be breaking in.
Oh, speaking of, did Norby die when I died?
No.
I totally forgot he was
Norby's
there.
on your back, so Norby's
Yeah.
perfectly functional.
Huh.
Just sitting there waiting. If you'll recall, I told you needed to take a turn to activate him.
Yeah,
And then he
I
would
totally
go
forgot
around
he-
healing people. So
Yeah.
Norby's still in like sleep mode waiting to be activated.
Interesting. I'll have to remember that for next time.
Light is not fire magic.
Okay.
Or maybe it is. No, you're right.
It is.
Light is fire magic.
It's fire magic.
Yep. Burning Hands, Flaming Sphere, Scorching Ray, Daylight,
Yeah.
Fireball. Yep.
All these things are definitely fire based.
Most firing.
It's light.
Oh.
He is
Fire.
called Harrow's Lightbringer for a reason.
So how do I actually roll the stats in the?
You shouldn't need to roll stats.
Is there just a button that rolls?
There should be a thing on your character. Again, I don't know if I'll...
Under the abilities tab,
Yeah, do that.
there's ability scores. So you pick standard array, and then your stat should pop up below that. And there's a lot of pop downs. You can pick your points per stat. Are you on D&D Beyond right now?
No, I'm in roll 20. That's probably.
That's why.
Yep. I think you should build your character on D&D Beyond, and then move it over
I moved it over.
from there.
Yeah.
Then they're roll 20s.
You know, you've got the perfect warlock for weapons and supplies. But you need a place to store your stuff because you're so disorganized.
Organized. Yeah.
You have to click open that webpage you heard about on Critical Role. It's G&D. No one else is singing. It's fine. I'll just go cry in the corner.
D&D Beyond.
Thank you. Oh, I can like update the extension right now with the new campaign on the table's top,
A character.
and people can watch you guys make your characters. Conorhughes' character is missing information and cannot be selected, but Baldrock Stonehammer, the Minotaur Paladin, and Lyra Fulbright, our Air Ganassi Cleric, are both selectable. So,
Yeah.
Cotton, you're an Air Ganassi?
Yep.
Just remember to always take a breath right before you go underwater so you can live forever.
Yep.
If you don't take a breath, then what happens?
I can hold my breath indefinitely for being an air Nazi, as long as I'm not unconscious.
And the first time you cast a spell, that's over. Because then all the breath leaves you. But now people can watch you build your characters. This is the future of D&D, people. Right here, right now.
There's Rick and Morty content. That's hilarious.
Yeah, don't use that. No, I'm good without it. I don't know very much about Rick and Morty, but after that McDonald's Szechuan stuff, where people were driving into McDonald's and screaming at the employees because they wanted Szechuan sauce and Rick and Morty memes everywhere, I was done. I knew that I would never get into it. Like Undertale.
Are we doing XP or milestone?
You're doing XP, but you're starting at level 7.
Okay.
And so it should be noted, by the way, that you guys will not be leveling at the same time, because if someone isn't present, they will not gain experience.
Incentive to be there.
Sure, but, you know,
Yeah.
if you can't be here because you have important things to do, don't be here. Do those things.
All right.
That's
all
the whole
right.
reason we're doing West Marches instead of something else, is because not only is it D&D, but it allows us to form parties on the fly. Plus, I have to make a new overlay for the new characters and get camera layouts. We'll have another new overlay for season 3 of the show when Mortrix's back in November.
Sick.
I asked Connor to do that for me.
Excited about that.
I'm excited about it too. Plus, Bearded's doing the logo for Pre-Afterlife Services, my future cyberpunk show.
When's that coming up?
Well, let me tell you, I have 6 shows a week right now. So
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and none of them will end. None of them will end. Some of them have been going on for almost a year. The anniversary for On the Tabletop is January 23rd.
Yeah.
So
what's GGTR order domain? Oh, that's order domain. You're right.
I don't know what GGTR is, but
What's Baldwin's favorite weapon?
I don't know that Wellwind has a favorite weapon. Probably something water-based, right? Because she's the god of the Tempest. Maybe a mace or like a spear, like a trident. Oh, I like a trident. That's real good. I think probably like a fishing spear, because she is justicey, and whenever I think of justice, I think of Odin sitting on his throne with the spear, judging people with his one eye of all truth.
Only have life domain in here. Do I have to log in with your account or something?
Hmm?
Do I have to log?
I sent a link on the POW, the RPG channel, and it's a join campaign link. And when you do that, you will create a character underneath my purview, and you'll have access to all of my materials, which should be almost everything, including the thing that's going to come out tomorrow, the Avernus.
So, okay. Known spells, prepared spells. So paladins are like clerics, right? They have access to the whole spell list. They just have to choose which ones they're going to prepare.
I'm not sure. Let me double check. According to my notes here, Paladin spellcasting. At the second level, you divine, blah, 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 blah. Paladin shows how many spell slots you have to cast your spells. You regain all of your spell slots when you finish a long rest. You prepare your spells when to cast. Choosing from the Paladin spell list. Pick a number of Paladin spells equal to your charisma modifier plus half your Paladin level, blah, 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 blah.
You said we're doing standard, right?
Yeah, so you have to change your lists at the end of... Well, you can change your list at the end of every long rest. And just say, here are the 6 spells that I am capable of casting today. And then whenever you go to cast a spell, you say, I cast it at 1st or 2nd level. You know?
Yeah, okay.
You said standard array for ability scores?
Yep.
So then we can choose them.
Oh, I get 7
Then we have to roll for them.
No rolling.
When you're rolling spells, is it a wisdom score or a charisma score? Or...
It will update it for you depending on what class you are. Which
If you're cleric, wisdom.
with cleric, it's wisdom normally.
Okay.
Didn't give me any numbers for standard array.
If you select standard array, it should show you all of the stats. It should say like strength, dex, and all that stuff.
Right.
You should be able to click somewhere, and it'll give you a drop-down menu of things to choose from.
Oh, and I could just choose whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's been a while since I made a character, like a week and a half, and before that had been months. So, my precious Caratina that I never get to play. What did Pondo call her? My beloved? I just want to really mess up her life really bad. Uh-oh. My phone's out of batteries. I don't know how I'm going to play Fake Grand Order.
He said it was your beloved.
Beloved, yeah. That sounds right. That sounds like something he would say. I want to double down now that you guys are starting to pick character types, except for Connor, who knows what he's going to do. Are you a war cleric? You are a war cleric?
Yeah, I guess.
And you're taking the noble background as well?
Yeah. Well, I haven't done that yet because it hasn't. I don't think it's got asked me that yet.
But you'll get there. You'll get there because you said you are an exiled prince. Of course, an exiled prince must be a noble.
Yeah. Well, last time I somehow managed to skip over that background thing. Remember? So I never had a background.
Well, don't not do it this time then. Definitely do it.
I think I missed it. I think. Yeah.
Don't worry. This time you won't miss it because you know that you're supposed to look for it.
Yeah.
Let me ask. Nobles begin with a gaming set and fine clothing, and a scroll containing their pedigree. What game do you excel at? What style of clothing do you wear? And the scroll of pedigree, how is it formed? Is it, I am Arthur, son of Arthur, son of Arthur, son of Uther, son of Nordic, son of Voltgern? Like, is it like that? Or is it like a Chinese style family tree where it shows all of your significant relatives? Is it a Japanese samurai scroll listing your most powerful familial acquaintances?
Definitely the first, I would say. Like,
Okay.
It's sort of my impression of your empire is that it's very Western. So
Well, the thing about empires is that they don't have a coherent culture, right? They're literally made by one country kicking a bunch of other countries' asses and then being like, pay us taxes, use our governors, you can do whatever you want as long as you provide us with money and military and you follow our laws. So the local culture doesn't change, mostly.
yeah.
I mean, to some extent, right? Like, a functional empire will normally remove local garrison forces from one location and have them garrison someplace else. So, like, for instance, Rome would not be garrisoned by local Roman soldiers. It would be garrisoned by people from far away, so that if there was a rebellion, right, the locals would probably be like, haha, look at all these local Romans that we've got in the garrison. They'll rise up with us. Instead, it's like, oh shit, there's a bunch of French people. They will, yeah, Alexander the Great did it. China does it too. To some extent, by doing such garrisoning, culture spreads throughout an empire. They do have a sort of unified overall code, but in another sense, each kingdom and county and duchy and functional autonomous group still retains its own. This is why people say you can't conquer China. China conquers you. That happens. The Mongolians were like, shit, let's roll up there, fucking own these noobs. Lol, Great Wall, whatever, bitch. They ended up running China, and then several generations later, their family was falling apart because Chinese bureaucracy had basically locked them into this weird empirical system, and the bureaucrats were running the empire instead. China conquered the Mongolians.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan would be rolling in his grave if he didn't have his DNA in half the world. That man knows how to win Crusader Kings, am I right, Connor?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Lots of kids.
He would do well in a game of Pendragon.
Yeah, I'm imagining something more along the lines of Holy Roman Empire, something more decentralized. So
Holy Roman Empire. Wow,
Yeah.
going all the way to Germany, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was imagining.
So you feel like you're a very Western civilization, very Western medieval character.
At least if
post-medieval.
you're gonna say that if there's like, let's say 4 or 5 kingdoms in that empire,
Sure.
he's from the kingdom that is more in that fashion,
Sure, absolutely.
and therefore that kingdom is also more decentralized than, say, maybe the other kingdom. So I haven't decided how petty the duke or prince or what kind of, like, what exactly where he falls in line as far as whether he's like directly under the
A prince is a prince is a prince, my friend.
Yeah, but there's, are you the Habsburg or are you you know,
I mean,
some petty.
everybody's the Habsburg. That's why they're the Habsburg.
Sure.
What is your gaming set of choice, sir? Do you play dragon chess? Do you gamble with cards or dice, perhaps? Do you play
Cards.
Stratego or Go?
Cards is versatile. I think it sort of works for
Interesting.
the nature of the empire. You can play one deck of cards can play many games, and I think
Indeed
that suits the decentralized nature of that sort of.
So of course your people play Texas Hold'em while everybody else plays 5-card or stud. Some of them play Joker's Wild, which annoys your people to no end. When the foreigners come by and they're like, Joker's Wild, and everyone's like, ah, son of a bitch, we don't play with Jokers here. Are you kidding me? Position of privilege. Thanks to your noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you. You are welcome in high society, and people assume you have the right to be wherever you are. You just like walk into a place and everyone's like, well, I guess you belong here.
I own the joint.
The
Literally
common
walk
folk
around-
make every effort to accommodate you and avoid your displeasure, and other people of high birth treat you as a member of this social circle. You can secure an audience with the local nobility if you want. Oh, that could be interesting in town.
Mhm.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, what kind of steed would be available to a Minotaur?
I mean, you would need a very large animal, right?
I think Troll Player has floated the idea of a T-Rex in the.
No. No.
Really?
I would say something like a very large Clydesdale, like a huge horse. You know what I'm talking about? One of these beautiful ass Budweiser horses.
The Budweiser, yep.
To maintain your,
Alright.
let's call it massive weight. Are Minotaurs large or are they medium?
They're medium.
Okay,
The,
well then
the character ones are like over 6 feet, but they're medium.
okay, well then you could just use a regular mount then. Sorry, in 5e, like enemy Minotaurs are all large size, like that skeleton you fought. So
Yeah, yep.
Clydesdale would still be cool though.
I mean, certainly there would be no reason why not to give you one. Have you picked an oath, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna. So far, it's gonna be Oath of the Ancients.
That is the natural world.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What drew you to such a ritualistic lifestyle?
I think with him being a Minotaur, even though he's like this battle guy, he's going to be. I think he's going to be more one with nature. So he's really there to fight against anything that kind of encroaches on nature. So he may not be a big fan of civilization. I'll
Well,
have to
make
think
sure
about
that you read your oaths, because if you break them, you become an oath breaker.
Yeah.
I will check you on that, because that's how paladins work. You must have acts of mercy, kindness, and forgiveness. Wherever there is love, beauty, goodness, and laughter in the world, you stand against wickedness. Delight in song and laughter, beauty and art. Be a glorious beacon for all who live in despair. As long as you do these things,
Yeah.
you're good.
I think it'll fit this character. And you guys will love it when I sing in character. Rah, rah, rah.
I'm telling you, man, one of the best bards I've ever seen is when DJ Wheat, the guy who basically runs Twitch right now, was on roleplay and played Lady Amsel and did rhyming, like 6-line rhyming couplets for all of his spells. After his character died, they wrote a song about her called An Amsel in Distress instead of A Damsel in Distress. It was so good. It was incredible. Interesting.
So I've got a question on spells.
Yeah?
So there's 2 that I get as a paladin. So they're always prepared. And then it says I get 4 first level. So that's 4 on top of the 2, right?
So, you're a 7th
also
level
says-
paladin, correct?
Yeah, there's also a spot that says prepared spells 0 of 5. but yet it says 4 first and 3 second.
So you prepare spells. Like you would say, I'm preparing smite or thunderous smite, right? You would list 5 spells that you would like to be ready to cast during combat. You choose whenever you want to cast a spell, which spell you're casting. So you're about to cast a spell and you say, I prepared thunderous smite, I'm going to cast it, and I'll say first or second level. You'll say second level, you'll mark off a second level spell spot, and then you'll use it. The other thing to note is that you can burn your spell slots to smite. It's called Divine Smite. At the second level, when you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target in addition to your weapon damage. It's 2d8 for a first level spell, plus 1d8 for every additional level spell. If the target is an undead or fiend, you add another 1d8 on top of that. So, like, Divine Smite is very powerful. People like to use it often. If you use it against undeads or fiends, it's especially powerful. So you can just be like, okay, I'm going to burn a first level spell slot to do additional damage. Radiant damage.
Gotcha.
This is important because, you know, things like zombies, they only die when they take radiant damage or eat a critical hit or something like that.
Excellent. Yeah, I was getting spell slots mixed up with prepared spells. All right.
Would you say that besides common, there's another language that a noble would sort of have to know to be like? Is there a lingua franca, like a
Of the Empire?
yeah
Orc.
orc?
Yep. Guz and Guz is a half orc goddess. Orcish, despite its harsh tongue, is widely renowned. It's like the bureaucracy language, right? It's the encoded language used by the higher level government people. Official proclamations are written in Orcish.
Okay.
Perhaps your particular land has its own language that you know. What race are you again?
Scourge ASMR.
I mean, you already start with Celestial. Does your land host a particular race or set of races? Like, is it known that dwarves are welcome there? Perhaps elves or dragonborn? Maybe tieflings, right? You're an evil Azamar, or perhaps tieflings there, and you would learn Infernal. You know?
Well, if he's Scourge, he's not necessarily evil. I haven't decided like how evil the character.
Oh, if you're a Scourge Azamar, you're evil. It says so.
Really? Oh, I
Yes.
misinterpreted then. I thought it was okay.
I will go read it for you.
ING. Oh, it feeds powerful desire to destroy evil. It says a desire.
Oh, you're being the other Azamar. You're not being the fallen.
No, yeah, I changed.
Okay, then yes, you're the good Azamar that go out and murders people that are bad. Yeah.
I mean, I did say we're gonna try Dia's fault, so that's
Sure.
yeah.
You know, the Empire speaks Orcish at the highest level, if you're into that kind of thing. I mean, there are plenty of traditional languages that get a lot of play in a D&D campaign. Elvish, Infernal, Abyssal, Celestial, Draconic. At low levels, Goblin is fairly common.
If the character is noble, I think they would probably be, and this is how proclamations are read in that sphere. I think that makes sense to be.
You know, the language of Mordor.
It's guttural.
Yeah, I shall not utter it here. Cotton? You're an Outlander, right?
Yes.
What kind of outlanding do you do?
She's been traveling by herself on foot since the temple was destroyed. She's gotten a good use to living off the land.
Do you have a particular origin? Like, are you a guide, a hunter-gatherer, a pilgrim, bounty hunter, a trapper, a forester, or you're just like a social outcast that, you know, you just avoid people because you don't like them, and you retreat from your first floor just so that there's no windows and like dark basements.
I think the guide would be the closest.
So you in daily life, at least in the past, have led people from place to place.
That's
Keep
just
them
what I said
safe.
would be the closest
Sure.
way.
Well, if it's the closest, describe what she did in her daily life in the past then. On top of being a
After-
cleric, of course.
After her temple got destroyed, she's been just
Wandering.
wandering. She doesn't like reject all people like the lesser outcast. She lives mainly off the land. She doesn't, do a lot of going into town much. She has started. Maybe she started hunting and selling some of the furs for a little extra money.
I really like that. That's very... What was that Netflix show about the trappers in French Canada?
With Jason Momoa.
Yeah, with Jason Momoa. That was excellent. It was incredibly good. Very historically accurate.
I feel like it was Force something.
But yeah.
Frontier.
Frontier. There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry about
Frontier. Definitely. That's very Frontierish. Being a trapper. Avoiding people. Just showing up in town once a season with a big old pile of pelts and being like, money. Give me. Let's go back to genre. We all agreed that survival micromanagement was a lifestyle, but we haven't decided on a genre here. Are we Noble Bright? Is this you guys will eventually overcome all of your challenges and the outside lands aren't really that bad and everywhere you go you spread sunshine and cheer? Is it horror? Is it dark horror? Is it, you're stuck in a dark forest and monsters are chasing you? Is it adventure?
I'm fine with everything except for pure grimdark, where everything is always horrible.
Okay. No Warhammer 40k for you.
No.
You'll leave that to Pondo then.
Yeah.
Pondo
Yes,
murdered a bunch of kids, right?
we were having a discussion about that.
I mean, he ordered the death of hundreds of thousands of people very casually.
And then I asked him if he's ever killed any kids on the show, and he's just like, not directly.
Oh, yes, he
But he
has.
had to think about that. If he had killed kids or not. He was like thinking about it for a long time.
He ordered an entire level of humanity destroyed, and then he got on the escape transport and then shot the co-pilot and then shot the pilot so that they wouldn't know that he was ever there. They killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he told me that it was a dark setting.
He made it that way.
What about the rest of you? How do we feel about genres? I mean, could you deal with horror if I'm like, you hear a creaking coming from the next room, and then Bearded's just like, it's just Connor! It's Connor farting! That will completely ruin the horror mood. And let me tell you something. I've tried to run some horror shows before, and that's pretty much how it ends. I'm like, there's a horrible tentacled beast, and then Connor's just gonna be like, how hentai is it? I really want to draw this. And I'm like, it is horrible to behold. Its 7 eyes vibrate with terror as their blood. And Connor's just like, all right, I'm drawing it now. It's got a cute pink ribbon on it.
I've made it a fake Grand Order character. I want my wife with me.
I mean, that's Corgan.
Pretty much. I'm down with whatever. It all sounds great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really down with whatever as well. So.
I mean, I expected
What
this.
are our options again? Let me hear.
I
them.
mean,
Yeah, what are the options again?
I mean, anything is an option. If
Right.
this was a TV show, what show would it be based on? If it was a movie,
Mhm.
when I tell you about Westmarchers and the shattered plate and the fallen lands and everyone is coming here from afar, does it evoke a feeling, a book, a story you've heard before? Is
So,
there
like-
something you'd like to base this off of?
Kingdom of Heaven meets Dead Space.
Ooh, Kingdom of Heaven. I like that. Kingdom of Heaven would be a Westmarchers campaign for sure.
Mm-hmm.
A level 1 blacksmith shows up in the middle of nowhere with a rotating cast of different people. He keeps going out of the city and then coming back.
Is he a level 1 blacksmith though? Because he's basically
He
able
gets
to do
wrecked at the
everything.
whole beginning of the movie. The dude literally
oh
rides past
gosh.
him on a horse and bonks him with the flat of the blade and is like, bitch, learn how to ride. Learn how to live or die.
And then he crosses swords with his father like twice and becomes an expert. And then he immediately
I mean, he
knows
spends
how to,
months traveling over to Jerusalem and he trains.
and then he immediately knows how to irrigate the plains of Jerusalem. Like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah, Connor, it's a fantasy. Okay,
Connor,
you realize
ruin my
that
favorite
movie
and
not-
I will kill you.
not historically accurate. You realize that, right?
Yes.
Well, he's based on a real character, but yes, he's not.
Yes. Well, I have to tell you that he didn't look like Orlando Jones.
Orlando Bloom.
Orlando
no, he
Bloom. Orlando Bloom. What do you think, Connor? We got Kingdom of Heaven. We got Dead Space down here.
I'm liking the Kingdom of Heaven because I like the political sort of intrigue aspect of that. Even if I am not as big a fan of the movie as somebody, but you know.
So maybe there's an internal political struggle in the Shattered Plate, right? Some people want to begin burning down the local forest, driving out all of the hideous locals, and in the process maybe destroying the natural resources of the land, but at least saving the town. Some want to negotiate. Like, I'm sure Cotton's character will be like, maybe we should be friends with them, negotiate, get them to drop their weapons. You disagree, Cotton?
I have an 8 charisma.
Excellent. I love
This is the
this.
first time I've ever made a character that I can't charisma.
This is going to be
I'm
awesome.
doing something new.
Well, you can still take proficiency in persuasion and still
but
be.
I didn't.
Well, okay, then yeah, you're going to be really bad at it.
Get wrecked.
So, do the clerics
Wait,
not need
but-
charisma to do
I
stuff?
took charisma.
I'm just asking
I mean-
mechanically.
There are some things that help clerics with charisma, of course, like persuasion.
Besides, like, as far as mechanically fighting wise, though.
You have a charisma save, but you don't really need it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, between the
Said
5
someone who's
clerics
never
who
been
got-
dominated before.
I've never been dominated before because I've always had a high charisma.
High wisdom as well. People are saying guidance.
What's the
Guidance.
skill for cleric spells again? Is it intelligence?
Wisdom.
Cleric is wisdom.
Wisdom?
Yep.
Ugh. Might need to switch around some of my skills. Let's do this.
Standard array is so, like, I don't know, locked in. Like, you just gotta,
Yeah. It makes a tough call, right?
yeah, you gotta make some tough calls.
What do you want? You want to roll 3d6 and then end up 18, 18, 18, 6, 6, 4? Connor's like, as long as I can put it in, Constitution and my favorite stat, I'm good. Maybe an 18 strength. Just so I can carry a lot of stuff. Yeah. Don't forget that it should offer you level up options, right? Whether to take a +1 stat at each at level 4 or to pick a
feat.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
I picked a feat.
I picked feet too, but now I gotta look up the feats.
I also picked a feat. I took Warcaster.
I mean, Warcaster. Yeah, God beat me to it. Warcaster is very popular, especially among clerics. The ability to use a shield in combat while still having a melee weapon and all that crap is very, very, very good.
And we're looking at feats in Player's Handbook, right?
Yes, Warcaster, Sentinel are very popular. Ritual Caster, for some reason you don't have it. I think clerics do have it though.
Feats. There we go.
Shield Master is also popular. Keen Mind.
I like the Observant feat. It's pretty cool.
I'm less into it.
Oh, I took Flames of Philagathos.
I don't know what that is. Should I know about this?
No. It was one of the feats. Increase your int or charisma score by 1. When you roll fire damage for a spell you cast, you can reroll any of 1 on the fire damage dice and use the new roll. Whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage, you can wreathe yourself in flames that don't harm you and shed bright light around to 30 feet.
Sick. Oh, it's from Xanathar's. It's a tiefling thing.
Yeah.
That's why I've never heard of it.
The frames are present. Any creature within 5 feet of you that hits you with a melee attack takes 1d4 fire damage.
Cool. Remember all of that, because I'm not going to remember it, and it seems very important.
Yeah. I'm going to have to reread and reread.
Oh, that's why you're being a fire cleric. Okay, good, good. You know, it's D&D Beyond. It might automatically include that stuff in your... when you click through.
It does.
Does Wellwind have a symbol?
Her symbol is a spiral to represent a whirlpool.
I never chose a god. I should probably do that.
You're a cleric of light.
Mm-hmm.
You're a cleric of Hero's Firebringer.
Cool. Where do I put that? Probably in background. Description. Character details.
Cast a spell that do fire damage.
Oh, good. Faith. Probably put it under faith. What was the name of the thingy?
Hero's Firebringer. He's the he's the sun god. He's the one who draws the sun across the sky every day.
I like it.
So what are concentration spells? Like, what's the difference between that? And
So a regular spell, you cast it, boom, it's gone, right? You cast magic missiles, missiles come out of your hand and hit the enemy. A concentration spell is something that you are constantly casting. So you're like, I am going to make a spiritual weapon that appears next to me, and whenever I fight, it also fights and slashes at people.
Is a buff an example of that? Like a magic weapon?
Yeah, there are some buffs that you cast them and then they're gone, and there are others that you have to hold on to them. Invisibility, for instance, or flying are both concentration. If you get injured while casting a concentration spell, or you're in a situation like you're on a pitching boat and you're seasick, you have to make a concentration roll every round, which is a constitution saving throw. You have to beat 10 or half the damage rounded up, whichever is higher. So if you take 50 points of damage, you have to make a 25 save. If you take 5 points of damage, you have to make a 10 save, because 10 is higher than 2. We're doing a West Marches game now, Pondo, because we don't know who will be able to show up when, so I want to be flexible.
Flexible.
I mean, yeah, Pondo could have just asked Cotton. He's sitting right there. They're literally talking right now. Oh, Pondo.
He did ask me, and
I know.
I told him.
He's trying to interact with chat, though, because he's a good broadcaster.
About his child killing spree.
I mean, she'll remember it forever. That was one of those Tales from the Borderland upper left-hand corner. Cotton will remember those moments.
He was just smirking the whole time we were talking about that.
Wow. Wow. Make him take out the trash.
I think he already did take out the trash.
We'll make him take out the
Take
trash
it
again.
out,
Find some more trash to take out.
Tell him to take himself out.
Make him do the dishes. He hates that.
Oof. Fuck.
I like doing dishes.
Come over to my house, Connor.
I mean, I like doing dishes for about, I'll do 10 minutes of dishes and be happy.
That's a long time to do dishes, man.
That's
How
like
long
an
do you-
eternity.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how long do you let that shit pile up? Jesus.
I'm just saying, like, that's my max, you know?
Okay. Can't go beyond that.
I redid my ability scores, and now I gotta redo my equipment.
Oh yeah, speaking of equipment, what is our gold looking like? Can we just buy whatever?
No, you start with whatever your starting gold is.
Standard
Just-
equipment.
Yep,
Tax.
standard
Yeah.
equipment. Yep.
So that's 5d4.
You either pick the array, or you. So like it'll give you an equipment list, or you can roll for your money, but you can't do both.
Yeah. We're starting at 7, Pondo. Oh yeah. I don't think 5d4...
Your background might give you more money as well.
Yeah, I get 25 gold purse.
Wow, look at Mr. Rich over here. Jesus.
25 isn't that much.
25 is a lot of money compared to
lot
the
of
10 that
fucking
Cotton gets. 25 is a lot of money, dude. That is enough to put yourself up in a nice hotel for like a month. In the penthouses. Okay, we're talking, that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. 25 gold is enough to buy you some good weapons. So let me ask, are there any particular things that you guys are seeking while you're out here? Ancient stories or legends? I mean, Cotton is chasing after whoever destroyed her temple, right? I want to know maybe what kind of rumors she's heard. If she hasn't picked in particular Phantom Menace. What about the rest of you? I mean, Connor, we haven't nailed down what exactly you're looking for besides power, right? Are you out here grooming allies, or is there a powerful weapon or magical artifact you've heard of that you're seeking?
I think he's searching for answers from Goose and Gus.
Oh, you're on a spiritual journey?
Yeah, and so part of that is like what Goose and Gus, what do I need to make me powerful to come back and claim what I think is right? And so that it leaves it open to, I guess, several options, which means I can you know.
I love that you use the word claim. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Your guy is so privileged.
Yeah. Yeah.
To claim what is mine. Tell me, oh Lord, what must I do?
Right, because if he's a scourge, it seems like my impression from the race is that the idea is that you have a burning yearning to, like, you set out. It's like with the fallen thing. You set out with this concept of what should be, and so that's where he got this notion of challenging the order of Goose and Gus, and coming back with the vengeance or whatever.
Okay. Shep. I do not have a lot of information about you right now. I have Oath of the Ancients ? I don't know what background you have. I don't know anything about your character.
I don't know anything about my character.
Can you spitball me anything? You gonna?
No, I'm always the type that have to think about it.
All right.
So
you want to think out loud with me for a little bit?
I will be totally open if you got like questions to spark some conversation.
I do have questions.
So. Okay.
What are you thinking about for backgrounds? Where did you come from? Where are you going? Who's your family? Why are you here?
The background, I think I'll pick just one of the knight backgrounds.
You could take noble and then take the subtype knight instead of full noble, which means that you are a knight. Variant noble knight. A knight is the lowest noble title. It is the path to higher status. It gives you retainers. One of your retainers is replaced by a noble who serves you as a squire. So you gain the loyal service of 3 retainers who are loyal to your family. They are your attendants, your messengers. They follow you around and do tasks for you, but they will not fight for you.
Right.
That is a thing you could do as a knight. Of course, there are other knightly backgrounds from the other books. Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't read them all.
You definitely want to be a knight-ish character then.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you do before you came to the Shattered Plate? What was your day-to-day work? Were you a powerful warrior? Were you an administrator? Were you a judge?
Judge.
I like the judge and jury.
Judge Drew.
I mean, he is a paladin, so perhaps there was an organization that would send him out to deal justice against those who damaged the natural order of things.
Interesting. Maybe you work for druids, right? Like maybe there's like a particularly powerful druid circle that, they don't leave their land, right? Druids are attached to the circle that they're in, and they send you out into the world when they hear news of afar that requires correcting. And they can't just like send a badger with a horrifying insect virus to deal with it.
Yep, I like it. Yeah, because I was thinking the Oath of the Ancients sort of sounds druidish anyway, so...
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
100% is.
then it makes sense that there's a council of druids that send me out on missions
Fantastic.
or send me out on quests.
Oh, they probably call it like kiosks or quest. Yeah, they make it. They wouldn't call it missions at all. They would definitely
Right.
be like your quest. Should you choose to accept it and rise to the occasion of glory, your people need you.
Got it.
What can you tell me about
Sounds
your
good.
personality?
Well, he's going to be a little bit lighter personality, right? Because he follows the light. He likes the music. I think he's going to be kind of jovial and kind. But he's going to be kind of an oxymoron, or a polar personality, because I'm taking persuasion and intimidation. So
I don't know
he's
that
gonna
that's. Let me throw you at this. Like a well-beloved grandfather who must discipline when it's necessary. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he'll start off all sweet and nice, but if you piss him off, he's a terrible foe.
Well, not necessarily piss him off, right? But, you know, he's here to make people realize what life is about, the great parts of life. And, you know, maybe there's some kids throwing sticks at the local bar and breaking glass, and that's when Grandpa comes out and sits down and is like, we got to talk about this.
Get off my lawn.
No, it's not get off my lawn. It's, you know, this is why this is wrong. We're going to punish you, and through this punishment, you're going to learn how to do what's right. And we're doing this for your own good. It's for your own benefit. And then afterwards, he takes everybody out for ice cream.
Well,
I'm just offering a
persuasion,
suggestion.
Sure. Yeah, that'll work against those who are not evil. But then against the evil, then it's all about the intimidation.
I mean, even the evil works against the children, right? You can just be like, you didn't bring your report card home. That's not what I heard from the school administrator.
Yeah.
Why don't you try that story again, little Timmy?
Yeah, so it might be redundant, but I think that's what it'll be. I kind of like the polar ship that he might have to take, depending on the situation. And then my skills, I might change them. And then I think my feat is going to be martial adept. So I'm going to pick a couple of those battle master maneuvers.
Oh, snap. Might I suggest goading attack?
I was looking at that one. So, yep. In fact, I have a spell that does similar things. So I was thinking of kind of a compelled duel. So that would be a couple options to try to draw people towards me.
Yep. That's Paladin life right there. Compelled duel is so fucking funny. Wow. Yeah, I've never heard of martial adept. That's pretty interesting.
Where did it go? Features, feats. Yeah, martial adept. So I get 2 battle master maneuvers. I gotta figure out.
Well, friends, it's almost time for us to break tonight.
No.
Which is why I'm going to ask you what your characters look like before we go. Cotton, I want to start with you. What can you tell me about Tempest Cleric, Outlander?
I think she's got light blue skin with some like design swirling on it. And her hair is long and white, and towards the tips of it, it kind of fades away to look like it's made out of a cloud. And that is what I've got so far. She's got armor on.
I see.
I'm kind of feeling a cape, maybe.
Let me ask you a quick question. Would you say that she's an airhead?
God, I fucking knew you were gonna do that.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's because I'm basic as shit, y'all. Can't wait for Pumpkin Spice to come out. I'm 100% behind this.
Oh God.
Conorhughes, what can you tell me about the exiled war prince of Guzangas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking kind of like very, very like looks very noble bright, I guess, if you would say that.
I'm imagining, follow me through this. Black quilted suit with like gold fleur-de-lis sewn into it every few
snap.
inches down, like puffy pirate shirt, very Shakespearean, a big cravat, tight pants with like a sword belt strapped around it for your weapon, and like nice shoes. You know, I'm talking like shined black leather. Just a little bit of a heel to give you, you know, like a half-inch of lift.
I wasn't quite imagining something quite so.
All right, yeah, you tell me. You tell me.
But I mean, I'm liking the direction. I like the black and gold direction you got going on, and I think that works. So maybe something like the armor that's in, you know, the bad guys in Witcher.
Yes, I know many bad guys in
Nilf,
Witcher.
the Nilfgaardians.
Nilfgaard.
Right?
I'll have to look it up.
They were the sort of like black and like and gold armor, and so I imagined him sort of in that kind of thing. And then, yeah, just very like light, pale features, like and then light hair, and kind of glowing eyes, because I guess that's what the ASMR do.
Well, it's something they can do as part of their, you know, ASMR-ness. All right, I'm seeing your Nilfgaardians.
Yeah, they're sort of in that vein that you were talking about.
The Black Infantry, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Tell me more about the character, though, right? We've described the clothing, but tell me about the man.
Well, I think we've already got a fairly good...
Are you sure? I haven't heard anything about the man. Tell me more.
His cleric could be named Tush.
No, please
That's
don't.
amazing.
Please don't.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine he is...
Is he tall? Is he short? What's the skin color? What's the skin tone? Is he swarthy and Mediterranean? Is he pale and German? Is he
definitely
tanned?
pale and German? Yeah.
Is he fit?
Yep. Tall,
slightly obese? Is he?
I mean, he's sort of like used to that nobility life, where I would imagine that there's a lot of sort of training that goes into that. So you kind of got like lessons in the morning or something, or I guess lessons or fighting in the morning and lessons in the evening, something like that. So, yeah.
Canon, his name is Tush.
What kind of eye color? What kind of hair color? Is he handsome?
Well, I said before, the like lighter skin, and like lighter eyes, and then yeah, lighter hair. So just kind of like that ASMR typical kind of like look.
Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, glowing ASMR scourger.
Yeah.
Okay. Bird-chested? What the hell is that?
It's a feature in Crusader Kings, where oh man, I could build out the character in Crusader Kings. Bird chest is where you lose like several points in strength or whatever in war skill.
Okay.
Zealous is a good one because you get all kinds of bonuses, but people like you more, but unless you're of the opposing religion.
Well, I gotta say, I would ask Bearded what his character looks like, but it seems like he's not only done drawing it, but he started coloring and shading it as well.
Yeah, let me
if only
that up.
Connor would move the screen so we could look at it. Look at this shading here.
That looks awesome, Bearded.
Thanks.
Clutching her hand with the power of justice.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some flames around all of like the
Sick.
mace in her hands and stuff. Maybe around her.
Nice. I like the spikes on her pauldrons.
Yeah. I literally just saw some like chibi art today that had some young knight woman who had really spiked pauldrons, and I was like, that looks cool. I would do that.
Yeah.
All right, Shep, what do you got for me? What do you look like?
Minotaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a base. I am imagining a 6 foot tall creature with horns.
Yep.
I mean,
I think.
What coloration are you? Are we talking black and white spotted cow? Are you brown? Are you white? Are you black? Yeah, what kind of cow? Are you Holstein? Bro?
I'm a Texas Longhorn. So the
yeah, this is a man of culture.
So yeah, I mean it's off the top of my head. I think he's going to be a lot of brown with some black accents, probably black around the neck and the scruff. The Horns, they're okay. They're probably going to have something hanging off them. Maybe they're pierced. They got a band on them or something like that. He'll probably start off with a stone maul. That's where he gets his name. Stone hammer, anyway. And
let's talk about clothing. Do you wear it?
He's got chainmail. Yep.
I mean, Oh no!
What?
Oh no! You are a fuzzy creature, my friend.
And
you wear chainmail?
Yeah, I know it gets stuck and tangled, but he suffers through it.
Something
oh
under.
Yeah, you absolutely would have to wear padded clothing underneath it. You know, like a long johns or something. Ooh boy! Chainmail in your beard. It's the worst.
Yeah, I mean it's what's the undergarment you always wear? It's not pauldrons, but what is that underneath?
Pauldrons are the shoulder pads.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, he's got to wear it because he's still a paladin. He's going to be wearing armor.
Okay.
I'm searching for my.
Well, let me ask. What kind of armor are we looking at? Are we talking about huge, oversized plate mail with large spikes coming out of it, or like beautiful floral designs down the front? You know, like twisted vines and such. Is it a completely plain plate? You know, tell
well, I
me
think
more.
he can't wear plate yet, right? I mean, it's not.
Well, you can
armor.
wear plate, you just don't have it yet. But yeah, like is there some measure of pageantry to you, right?
There's going to be. It's going to definitely have, you know, a foresty look, some inlaid leaf and vine type stuff. He'll be, as he gains stuff, he'll look like sort of this battle druid in a way. So he's going to be very naturalistic.
And I have to tell you,
who knows? Maybe I'll find some armor that's not plate, but it's like kick-ass armor.
It's very popular for paladins to take a level of Hexblade. For one reason, because then you get to do damage with your charisma rather than your strength. So I'm just providing this. This is like the most maximum option, is to do one level of Hexblade Cleric, bind yourself to a magical weapon, and then you get, you know.
That would be interesting, because then I could switch my charisma. Yeah, okay. I'll give that some thought.
Friends, we'll be back next week, probably. Well, I mean, we'll definitely be back. The only question is who will be present for our first mission out of the Twisted Knot. I will prepare several possible missions, but the thing about West Marches is, actually, I probably won't prepare any missions. I'll just show you a map and say, where do you want to go?
We're meeting in this tavern.
You are.
Thing.
So it's like the local watering hole where people go to get drunk, but the local townspeople also know it as a place where adventurers, exiles, people like yourself come to exchange tales and create parties, right? This is the saloon if this was a Wild West, right?
Yeah.
You walk in, you punch somebody, you get a drink, and then maybe someone tells you about the lost gold of Old Man Jenkins in the mine out to the east.
He's always losing money.
Well, he's dead, so he's lost everything he's got.
True.
Maybe we can send him on his way to the next life.
After he tells us where the money's at.
You want to go re-kill Old Man Jenkins?
No, like make sure that.
Oh, you want to consecrate a burial?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're a cleric. Hopefully, you have skill proficiency in religion.
I thought about it. Then I was like, nah.
I love this idea that you have where you're like, I know better than you, Empire. I speak directly to God. And people are just like, name one verse from the book of Guzengas. And you're like, God talks to me in the morning, okay? We spend an hour speaking together. I ask her if she will provide me with thunderous smite. And she's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. All right. We have a dialogue. And they're like, name one psalm, sing one song. And you're like, I don't need that kind of knowledge, okay? You establishment clerics, all right? I stick to the true faith. You've been corrupted by the bureaucracy.
I mean, I don't care how many saints or angels will fit on the head of a pin. I'm much more concerned with realistic concerns. I don't know. I mean, a religion is an intelligence pick. That's the problem.
Oh, God.
You know? I might go back. I mean, I'm still debating.
I want to throw this to you real quick, Bearded. I know you're about to draw some fire. Can I recommend that you watch the first episode of the anime Fire Force?
Okay.
It is about Catholic witches and firemen in mid-2000s Tokyo fighting flame devils. And the fire effects on the show are fucking incredible. It's really
Sounds
good.
weird, but okay.
I've only seen a few episodes of it so far, but people are losing their minds over the show. It's really good.
I'll put it on my list.
If I still watched anime, I would be watching it.
You don't watch anime anymore?
I haven't watched anime in about a month and a half.
Wow.
I know. There's a whole new season of anime that either is out or is about to be out, and I don't know any of the shows on it.
Yep.
I know. I've lost my way. I don't know who I am anymore.
Connor, set him straight.
That's my outro, by the way. I don't know who I am, and I've lost my way. You can find me here at this place, wherever you're watching me, because that's where I appear at. Shep, who are you? Where can people find you, and what's your way?
My way is still finding my path. So you can find me on Twitch or Twitter or Instagram as robSHEPart. I draw D&D creatures, monsters, and that kind of stuff. I have a little bit of time for commissions if anyone's ever interested, but other than that, I'll be starting the building blocks of doing my own world building coming up. So I'll be busy, and I will be streaming Mondays and Fridays for sure, and pretty soon Tuesdays and Thursdays will be added as well. Connor, over to you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. My name is Connor Hughes. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ConnorHughes. I'll be making comics, drawing our Kickstarter comic called The Game. Should be exciting. Working on some pencils. Yeah, check us out. Thanks, everyone. Bearded, on to you.
What's up, guys? Bearded Jalapno on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and I think that's it. Discord, if you're ever in AP's Discord. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today. It's really fun. Over to you, Cotton.
Cotton, I doodle and stuff. You can find me on AP's Discord. Or if you want to join my Discord, you can just message me and I will send it to you. And that's all for me. We'll go back to AP to finish it all up.
I have a lot of maps to create. I've got to finish up Goblin Adventures and their maps. I got to make this map. I have to make an overworld map, and then I have to make maps for all of the small places you could go to and adventures you might be interested in.
Got to make a map for the HRE.
I'm not going to make the Holy Roman Empire for you. Sorry. Yeah. If the first thing you do is, all right, Arthur, I get back on the ship and sail home, I'm just going to be like, well, Connor's off the show. He sailed right off with his character. Weird how that works. Yeah. I'll tell you what, audience. I might record doing the prep for this show if y'all promise not to just immediately run to all these cast members and be like, go here, this is a great adventure. Oh, and make sure to press the left button. If you do that, I'm going to be upset. Because there's always someone who does that.
I mean, you could always whisper it to us, though. He'll never know.
Hey,
I'll know when you show up and you're like, this puzzle seems really hard to solve, Arthur. I'm just going to take a random stab at it and press the left button. And I'm like, there is no left button, Connor. I changed it after the prep. The buttons are listed vertically instead of horizontal.
Kink shaming is my kink.
What? Don't kink shame me, bro. That's it, friends. We'll be back next week, one way or another, with whoever's here to do adventures. Have a good night.
Good night, all.
Bye, everyone.